We feel that water is a deeply personal story and something that connects us all. Look, it defines our sense of place. If you're from New York, the Hudson River is fundamentally a part of who you are and where you come from. And the same is true the world over. It runs through all of our major belief systems as a sign of purification, of rebirth, the passage to the next world. And we feel a sense of peace when we're near water. One of the really amazing things, though, is through our relationship and our connection, we can all make a difference through changes in our lives and how we manage it. We journeyed and we looked at stories from the Amunas in the Andes Mountains, where by relearning pre-Incan systems, we can hydrate the land. In China, in sponge cities, we see examples where you can reimagine urban environments to be beautiful and to absorb water and hold it like a sponge and release it. And that's a really positive message. The images you're seeing are perhaps not what one would think about when you think of an urban landscape, but that's happening right here in New York. They're daylighting rivers, embracing this type of infrastructure, and that's a really empowering message of the changes we can make. And when we do this, it actually cools down the land. It creates local weather systems, it can make rain, and it can hydrate the planet. And that's the really interesting relationship that we discovered during the making of the film. You always hope that you learn something on a journey, and that's one of the things we learned, as well as that what we saw in Peru was independent of what was happening in China, or in New Zealand, or in Southeast Asia, or along the banks of the mighty Mississippi, where mayors are coming together all along that river, from the Great Lakes down to New Orleans, because they know that by working together, they can achieve more. And even at the level of our own homes and our own lives, there are really positive things that we can do to reimagine that. One of the things I'm excited about is an initiative called the 50-liter home, where you'll see images where scientists from companies like Procter & Gamble and others, IKEA, Electrolux, are completely reimagining how we use water. Subtle changes, innovations in technology, in science, in the products that we use can drastically reduce the amount of water we need from 200 liters per person per day to 50. We can still wash our dishes, clean our clothes, have the showers, but we can do it in new ways, and that is a 4-fold reduction in the amount of water we need, or it allows 4 times more water to stay in the Hudson River or any other river in the world. Look, that revolution may not be being televised, but it is happening all over the world, and that's what we're after discovering. So, what can you do? How can you make a change? I'll give you 3 things. Number 1, just make subtle changes in your own lifestyle and your own home. Every time you do that, you become a participant. Now you're part of something that connects us all. And that's, as I say, subtle changes in the simplest products that can use less water. The second thing is, look to corporations who are showing leadership with the lighthouse projects, leading the way to become water positive. And that means they allow more water to stay in nature than they take from nature. Recognize those that do, and encourage others to follow suit. The third thing is just to have that drive to encourage your elected officials to make changes, to embrace the type of images you saw there of blue-green infrastructure, or just get rid of lost water, all that water that's wasted, it being a precious resource. So I began by opening with the water crisis affects us all. And I think in closing, the note I would end on is that we all, as citizens, have the ability to make subtle changes to reverse that, regenerate our water systems.